think we should touch on is that for some people, let's say men, they pay most of the, look after the woman, pay most of the bills, as a way of control, because it's about power, it's about control. Give you an example. In America, there were loads and reports of loads and loads of Igbo men that were murdering their wives. So what they would do is, they'll bring a woman from Nigeria, bring her to America. She will then, and they feel like, yes, my wife, and she's respectful, all those things, right? And then she'll start studying to most of the time become a nurse. Then she'll start making money, she'll have access to certain things, and then he feels like, oh, now because she's making money, she wants to be walking all over me, yeah? And then eventually they get frustrated. There was one guy who tied his missus to the back of his truck and drove her miles until she was dead. There's another guy who went to the birthday party and shot his missus. It was like a big issue of loads of particularly Igbo men killing their wives because all of a sudden she's now making money, right? And it made them feel some sort of way, right? But then it was okay when they had the money because they had a level of control over her. So it's not just about, it's about power, a lot of these things. When it comes to money, a lot of these things are about power and control. Because, if I'm the one that's paying everything, I'm the one that's making more money, then if I tell her sit there, she's going to sit there. If I don't give her money to go out, she can't go out. So a lot of these things can be about control as well. And I think that's something that's worth thinking about. So some men who tell you they're going to pay your way and do all those things is a way of them controlling you also. But you don't see it because you're thinking it's to your benefit until it boxes your face and you're like, oh, ish, I didn't know.
So. Yeah, that's the reason I won't be a stay-at-home wife. I will have my ambition and I will proceed to doing what I need to do. Yes, but I don't have a problem with the man taking control of the household. Do you understand? And I do agree that it is about power because, of course, we've seen that. It happened in the UK with the other way around with women, particularly when the man don't have documents, for instance. Do you understand? They then suddenly have him under the thumb, if you get what I'm saying to you. So I get that it's about power. And when the tables have turned, even before the woman starts to throw her weight about, the man already feels like you are taking his manhood from him. Because it suddenly seems like a power struggle, even if you're not struggling. But money often is, we know it means you have more power. Whoever earns more, suddenly more power. Though it shouldn't be that way. So go ahead, somebody speaks, don't bang on.
No, I agree with Gloria. And I think, I don't think it's even just men. I think it works just like Hannah had said, even on the other way, even if it was a woman as well. And I think it's just what it is. Money, gives you more power, it gives you more control. And I was discussing with Hannah earlier today as well that I was reading a book by Gabriel Union, and whether it's the man or the woman, whoever has more money has more say, right? So half of the time we're just living the other person's word, right? So whether we even think about consciously or unconsciously, whoever has more money, determines a lot of things like, oh, where do we live, or what do we do, or where do we move to, and all of that. But when you then look at it, between a man and woman, or the man probably likes it when it has more money so that it can control you. I don't know, is that a bad thing? Is that necessarily a bad thing? No. Yeah. So control, not control to the point of, you don't have a voice or whatever. I'm just, let's drill it further. Is that necessarily, and this is to Gloria, is that necessarily a bad thing?
If the man wants to control you, it's not a bad thing if you're a puppet, then that's okay.
So if that money gives him better control, if it gives him better control, is that a bad thing?
I don't know. This is the thing, right? If his main objective, if his main reason is for power, it's a bad thing because that's what he's craving, that control and power over you. If that was his motivating factor, of doing those things is for the power, because that means when he doesn't have the money, there's going to be a problem, right? But if it's the reason why he's doing it, it's a different reason, which is, I was brought up that way, I've got the money and stuff, that's okay. But if the reason he's doing it is to get power and to control you, quite frankly, that is DV, because that's financial domestic violence, because it was to control you for what? Do you know what I'm saying to you? So it really, really depends what his motivating factors are.
Okay, I'm going to get a bit controversial here. So can we then say that one of the reasons why you have divorces, you know, amongst women who, I'm just looking at it like, you know, when I said, is this such a bad thing? Because you then find out that sometimes when the man is maybe richer or whatever, whether a good marriage or a bad marriage, I don't know, the marriage tends to last, right? But when it's the other way around, then women are less tolerant and whatever and then you find out that, oh, women who are more, you know, successful now financially, end up having bad relationships, right? They're not married, or they're married, their marriage don't last. So that's what I'm trying to look at. Like, so when the man has more money and has more control, is that necessarily a bad thing? Because when you flip it, you know, look at it from the other side, and you find out that it then affects the relationship of women who are more successful financially. You get what I mean?
I do, but the thing is this, a woman shouldn't have to dim her light to make her husband feel better, right?
Or to keep her.
Yeah, and the bottom line is this, right? If you have a man that is secure in himself, right, and loves you, he will be your cheerleader. He'll put on that outfit with the pom-poms and he'll be cheering for you always, all the time. He would do that. Do you know what? And it wouldn't matter. So really, a lot of the time, why those, if we talk about finances, those relationships break down, is that the man can't hack it. He can't take it. If he could hack it, it wouldn't matter. It really wouldn't matter. Yeah. Actually, it's not about her. It's about him.
Because we can hack it. Because we've accepted submission. Women have accepted being submissive.
Yeah, as I say, it's fun. Yeah.
And it shouldn't be a problem. And because I have more money doesn't mean you have to be submissive to me. But as we've distinguished or we've established before, money is attached to power. Not so much, but attached to power, particularly for men. The minute she earns more, that relationship will break down because he suddenly feels like he has to be submissive to her. And he doesn't want to be submissive, and because he doesn't want her to have more power than him. So a man would not want to date her because they'll feel like, I'll come and be her doormat. When it's not necessary, no.
You know what the funny thing about that is?
She could still appreciate and
you know the funny thing about that is, right? Sorry? He says that I will be her doormat. Does that mean that he expects you to be his doormat when he's making more money than you? If that is the way that his brain is wired. What does that mean?
Possibly, yeah.
You know? So that's why I said it's about control. And that's why I even mentioned DV a little bit, because that's how those things start, right? You know, until the day that he leaves you with no money and the women at home, they haven't eaten. You should hear those stories. They're terrible. And that's how they control you. But all of that aside though, the main thing is this, all of this doesn't matter until there's, I said this before and there's the truth. Because you know why? There are women who make fair money, they love their husband, lies to everyone. Look what my husband bought me. Look at this, look at that. And he ain't done nothing. He hasn't worked for 9 years until the day that they beef and the whole story comes out. So a lot of this thing is that when everything's kosher and we're all happy and we're all in love, everything somehow works its way out. We somehow are able to manage. But when it begins to break down, that's when the problem is. Really and truly,
but I think what
the money.
What Diola is even trying to touch on is, why do women, when they are established and successful, why is there such disparity in the success of their marriage? And why is there so much more divorces when they are successful? Why is it? I wouldn't say it lies with the women.
I think it's because you might find with a lot of successful women, and it's not everyone, so I don't want to generalize, but a lot of successful women lack in other areas.
Okay.
Because they go to work, they're doing the long hours, they're putting in the shifts.
Okay.
So who's going to put the baby to bed? They've walked in at 9 p.m. again. So they're lacking in other areas. And for men, those are probably the benefits that they like in their woman. Is for you to be motherly, do those sort of things. So after a few years of doing that sort of relationship, for a man, it'd be like, you know what, this thing could pay. This is not the type of wife I want. Although you make lovely money, but you're not the motherly or you don't have time for it.
In comparison to their counterparts.
In comparison to a woman who just earns average money, clocks in the morning, leaves, no overtime, nothing. She's home, probably before he gets home, and she can step into the shoes of the other responsibility. He's happy.
You know what the funny thing about that is? You see that same man what you're talking about? He's driving around in a Rolls Royce, the wife done by him, but now it's a problem. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
And then he divorces her so they can pick up a 25-year-old and drive around together. Sorry, you have it both ways.
Well, then that's the reason why if a woman is so successful in that way, she needs to go find someone that matches her.
Where she now, you see, it's such an issue. We have to start thinking about, do I earn more? Am I going to make him feel less of a man? Or let me go and find somebody well, you should marry your equal, ideally, or more than you.